There's two concepts in the Gita that are almost ubiquitous, like they're everywhere. It's Dharma and Karma. Dharma and Karma, not only in the Gita, but all over in yoga, those terms come up over and over again. And it's really an important topic to talk about, to really understand deeply, and to challenge yourself to understand it again and again and again from different perspectives. Because they're so profound, these concepts, it's easy to get your first definition and say, yes, I understand that, and move on. So it's a good practice to come back to it and understand it from a new view frequently. So Dharma and Karma, there are two aspects that within our own lives and within ancient psychology that we need to be able to understand deeply. The best definition that I like is for Dharma is simply to support from within. And karma is a basic understanding of this is actions. Now, actions in karma lead to future actions. The action that you take today will produce tomorrow, right? But it's not just the physical actions in the world, of course. If we're talking about psychology, if we're talking about ancient psychology, we really have to understand that thoughts are the seeds of actions that then produce, the plant which produces the fruits later down our lives. So we have to be able to understand that karma, while meaning action, means that action can exist on many levels. Now, the fundamental levels in yoga is that we break it down to thoughts, speech, and actions. Thoughts, speech, and actions are the levels that karma can exist on. And they get a little bit more potent as you move up in that way, right? My thoughts are less potent than my speech, because my speech produces thoughts in all around for anybody who heard it. And likewise with actions, it becomes more potent than my speech because it can actually physically, hurt or help someone. Now, getting back to the definition of Dharma, the term "that which supports from within" gives me the ability to illustrate this nicely. I like to think about Dharma as divine purpose. It's your path. It's this thing that has been laid out before you, that if you are to reach your potential, that you can follow this path really well. But you must start walking your path in order to reach your potential. So they kind of go hand in hand. I like to think about Dharma as the support beam in the basement of your home. So that which supports from within indicates that there's something within you that holds you up, that props you up, and you can bear a storm. You can deal with the pressures of the external world. If you compare that with karma being actions, at best, it could be like external support, right? Like if you had a hurricane coming and you were, nailing things to the outside of your house to protect the windows, there are certain actions that you can take to support yourself, but without a strong support beam in your home, it's not going to withstand the storm. Now, a moment ago, I implied that you must walk a path, the Dharma path, and in doing so, you reach an elevated state. But those two things kind of go hand in hand. So that elevated state is a state of enlightenment. And that's what yoga drives toward. So let's take enlightenment first. I want to break that down a little bit. Enlightenment often gets kind of compared to, or I guess equated with, inappropriately. It gets equated with the term self-actualization. Now, Abraham Maslow is a genius. He's one of the founders of modern psychology. And he came up with the hierarchy of needs. And if you're unfamiliar, it's physiological needs, then safety needs, then self-esteem need, belongingness needs, self-esteem needs, and then on top of that is self-actualization. It's like a pyramid. Self-actualization being the top of that, it's tempting to say that is a state of enlightenment, but it's really not. You see, self-actualization is a realization of all of your talents, your skills, and abilities. In being self-actualized, you have a heightened self-awareness, you have stronger willpower. These are all very good things, don't get me wrong. In being self-actualized, you have like heightened skills and you've walked this path of character development. So undoubtedly, that's a very powerful thing and a worthwhile pursuit. But enlightenment, if you compare these two, they're unequal. You see, enlightenment is this acknowledgement of the universality of characteristics. It's seeing and truly feeling a symbiotic relationship among all things around you. And it's an ability to really have this constant connection to everything and see that you are mixing constantly with everything. It is a dissolution of the ego boundary. It's to truly see that all things are connected, and not just see that, but be that and truly feel it. And why I believe that Dharma, walking the path of Dharma, the divine purpose, and enlightenment go hand in hand is because if you walk the wrong path, it's going to be very challenging for you to become enlightened. It's like swimming upstream. As you plug into the wisdom of the universe, the power of the universe, you must also, as you're walking this path, be open to the connection with all things. And as you build more and more and walk the path further and further, these two things walk hand in hand. You see, Dharma has both a social as well as a divine characteristic to it. On the social side, it's that it is a social contract. It's like this duty that's fulfilling your promises and acting with integrity. It's upholding order in your life. It's like taking care of your own home. On a divine aspect, it is comparable to a divine prescription. It's your divine path and your purpose of living. It's after you've built the true skills and the capabilities. And once you've been able to do that, and then it meets with opportunity at the right time, then you've kind of like achieved this period of time where you'll be able to plug into the right thing and you're able to walk the path of Dharma. As we work more together on this, we'll work with those three fundamental pieces: the thoughts, the speech, and the actions. As you work with your thoughts, the most important tool you have is your attention. As you pay more attention to certain things, I like to liken your attention to a spotlight. When you view your life, it's like a whole play is going on, but you get to determine where your focus goes if you just control the spotlight. And likewise with your speech, you have to be able to know and use words that are effective in the circumstances. And then finally, with your actions, we have to be able to find ways to face and overcome the uncertainties, that chaotic piece of our lives, and understand them in the ways that Arjuna seeks to understand his own enemy, his own purpose, and his own place within the story.